afternoon, and welcome to the Wild West podcast. This is Riker Anderson. I'm here with my grandpa, Roger Anderson, and this is episode 2. And today we want to show you guys a little bit of our shop, show you guys what we have and why we have it. Just kind of want to give you guys a little bit of a virtual tour. So we're going to start out by talking about some of the adventure bikes that we have, some of our favorites out here.
So we have 3 different adventure bikes. We have a Harley Davidson Pan Am. We have a Husqvarna 901 Norden. We also have 2 Tuareg, Aprilia Tuaregs, and they all have different places they work best at. They're all a little different, so we'll kind of go through each one to start with.
Yeah, I mean, I guess let's start out smallest to biggest. We'll start out with the Aprilia, the Tuaregs. They're 660s. They're Italian bikes.
Yep.
They're really capable. You personally ride one a lot.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about your Tuareg?
So you know what? The Tuareg is probably the best dirt bike. It's light. It really handles good. It has a Kayaba suspension in it, which makes it handle very well in the mountains and on rough stuff. I would say that's our number 1 dirt bike that we have. It has, Aprilia has 50 world titles in the road racing place, and they know how to make a motor. And so we bought 2 of them and we rent them out, and they actually, the only downside I have on the Tuaregs is when you're riding with the Harleys and the Nordens and we're going 85 miles an hour, they can take off from me, and it takes me a little while to catch back up. But the seat height is about an inch shorter than the Nordens, which make it better for short, challenged people, and they just handle very well. They have 4 ride modes, which makes them very capable to do road riding, wet streets. They have all the electronics that the big bikes have. They have ABS, the lean indicators. They do everything that the big bikes do.
They have cruise control on those too, don't they?
Cruise control. We have heated grips on these. We don't have a heated seat on them, but you're out in the elements.
Yeah, they're pretty sweet bikes. Actually, the first time that I ever rode an adventure bike, that's what I rode. Is we were out in Salmon.
Yeah.
We were riding near the Salmon River Lodge, and that's what I rode. I rode one of those Aprilia Tuareg all day, and I loved it. It was a great bike.
Yeah. And
I still love to take it out. They're pretty awesome bikes.
Yeah, for what they are, they're perfect. I mean, in fact, people that have rode them clear around the world, and they do everything you need to do on them. Plus, they're about 100 pounds lighter.
Yeah, that's really one of the nice things about them is the weight.
Yeah.
Right. You get a lot of people that they get on an adventure bike and it feels really intimidating because they feel really big. And the Aprilias, they don't feel as big.
No. Very, very dirt bike oriented.
Yeah, they're great bikes.
Yeah.
So we have the Aprilias, and then kind of moving up in the line as far as engine size, we get to the Husqvarna Norden 901s.
Yeah, and they just bump it up another notch.
Yeah.
And they're about 50 to 60 pounds heavier than the Tuaregs. And surprisingly, you can tell a difference in the size of the bike when you get on. They have a wider tank, so they just make them. Their whole thing is just a little bit bigger, but you get another 240 horse or 240 cc's, which makes a huge difference. And when you got 240 cc's with only 60 pounds extra, they really go. They're a rocket ship. They're about an inch taller than the Tuaregs, which makes them just a little bit more. When I get on them, I'm on my tippy toes on the balls of my feet to stand on them, which is fine. But when you get in a spot that you need to get your feet down, I'm a little challenged in them. But they're really great bikes. I really like them. They have great suspension. And while we're talking about it, we have a couple Expedition 901s, which bump it up another notch in the suspension category because they are a WPS suspension Explorer suspension. So that bumps them up a little bit more, and I'm tippy-toe on them. So I love to ride them, but when it gets real tight and rough, then I'm really challenged because I am tippy-toe on them.
Yeah, I am too. I that's what I ride the most of for sure is the Nordens. But yeah, we've had the expeditions around the shop, and I always still grab the regular ones if I'm gonna go ride one. Just
because
that height difference. You know, I'm a little bit shorter too, and so it's a little bit more challenging for me.
Yeah.
But they're both great bikes, and that's the other thing too is the expeditions. They have a lot of hype around them, and they're awesome bikes. They're gorgeous. They just look beautiful. And yeah, if you were somebody that was taller, or if you wanted the added clearance, then it'd be great. But other than the height difference and suspension difference, and they have one more map right on their ECUs.
Yep.
They have one more map.
Yes.
But other than that, they're essentially the same bike as the Norden. Is that right?
Yep. Exactly the same. They just bumped up the suspension and give it one more map, and then they have a few more amenities. They already come with bags on them, which we kind of like to switch out to the frames and the hard bags.
You see behind us, a lot of those are switched out.
And so they're just another notch. And the good thing is you could rent them for the same price you can rent the regular 901.
Yeah.
So it just depends on what you want to do and how comfortable you feel. If you're a guy that rides a lot of dirt and knows how to handle a motorcycle, Expedition's your bike.
Yeah, that's probably true. And that's what we rent the most of around here are the Husqvarna Nordens.
Yes.
And we don't receive any complaints about them.
No.
Those bikes are unbelievable. Anybody that rides them loves them.
Yep.
They're super capable, super fun. It's amazing how much power they have. Like you would never guess it, but in second gear, first gear, if you rip it, that front tire will come off the ground.
Right.
They rip. And if you're Mikey Holtz, Mikey, if you're watching this, I mean, we've got videos of Mikey pulling wheelies for as long as he can. It's unbelievable. These bikes, they absolutely rip. And sound great too.
They do sound great.
Yeah, they are some sweet machines.
Yep, they really are a great all-around machine. If you were buying one bike, had one bike to ride, which we get to ride them all, and that's the bike I would get.
Yeah, I completely agree. If I was going to ride one for the rest of my life, it would be one of these.
One of those.
Yep, they're unbelievable.
And for me, I would, if guys thinking of buying one, you can shorten the suspension by 2 inches, which puts me flat-footed, and you'd only lose 1 inch of travel, which really doesn't make that big a difference unless you're really a hardcore off-roader.
Yeah, that's very true. And I think something that people don't realize too is being kind of a mid-sized bike in the adventure bike game, like that they're limited to being by themselves, but it's not really the case.
Right.
We have lots of people that have taken passengers on these. My dad takes my mom all the time on them. I take my wife on them all the time, and they absolutely loved them. And so it's just because it's a mid-sized bike doesn't mean that you're limited to solo riding. No. They do great with a passenger.
Yes, that's the difference. The Tuareg is maybe a little underpowered for a long trip with 2-up, and that might be their biggest downfall is riding 2-up starts stretching the power limits.
Yeah.
But on these, not even.
Yeah, it doesn't even get close.
Yeah,
they're unbelievable.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, we'll move on to talking about our last adventure bike, our biggest bikes that we have, which are the Harley Davidson Pan America 1250 Specials.
And
they are special.
They are special.
Yeah, they're pretty sweet.
They are pretty sweet. I rode one around the whole Frank Church, all on dirt, and loved it. It ran great. They got tons and tons of power. That motor has 150 horsepower when you put it in sport mode, and it just goes. Now, I wouldn't say the downside. You just got to know that you're on a big bike. You're on a bike that weighs 650 pounds dry. It's probably pushing close to 700 with oil and gas in it, and your baggage. I mean, you're getting up there. But if you're riding big roads and big dirt, man, they go. The one thing I'll say about they have a ton of electronics, which means you got to watch your battery life, and if you're going to set them down for any period of time, they need to be plugged in.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of their electronics that also make some of the sweetest features that they have, right?
Exactly.
Their electronic suspension. I think that's crazy.
Yeah, they have a mode that sets the bike down 2 inches when you come to a stop. It lowers the bike 2 inches, which puts me flat-footed. That's why I rode it out around the Frank Church. And it was great. And then when you take off within 20 feet, you're back up to your height. And so you want, it's a great bike for somebody that's vertically challenged like me. And, I got short legs, so it works really well. The other thing is it has 4 ride modes and 1 customizable ride mode. And so you have so many options to do with it. And then if you're riding 2 up, the power on it is phenomenal. You never run out of power with 2 people on it. And when you go to sport mode, it tightens up the suspension and you get all 150 horse. So I was riding along the Clearwater River from Grangeville to Elk City, and we had a blast. I mean, we were rocking that. It was windy and we just had a great time. And at 150 horse and a tight suspension, that thing is a rocket ship and great in the curves.
Yeah, they're pretty unbelievable bikes too. So that's a little bit about our fleet, kind of what we have around the shop right now as far as the adventure bikes go.
Do we want to talk about our new ones?
I think we'll drop some spoilers right now. They're not in the shop right now. They're being driven from the Triumph dealership to the shop right now is 2 brand new Triumph Tiger 900s.
Rally Pros.
Yeah,
which is their best adventure bike. And so we're going to have 2 of them. And by here at the end of the month, we'll probably have 3 to rent. And I've rode them a little bit, and they have an inline triple that is one of the smoothest motors I've ever rode on an adventure bike. And so I'm excited to get them out and see how they do out in the dirt and on the roads. We're excited to get them. And so we'll let you know more about them after we have some time on them.
Yeah, I'm really excited to ride them. I'm excited. I haven't got to be on one yet, and I'm super excited to try it out. And yeah, we're excited to let you guys know what kind of our thoughts are. And we've ridden quite a few adventure bikes, and so I think we can give you a pretty honest opinion of how we feel about each bike, right?
Yep.
And so we'll be getting that review to you guys here shortly as well. We'll briefly mention some of the other things you might see around the shop, kind of in their own seasons and everything. We have a couple e-bikes laying around. We have some e-ride pros. We have some RFNs, and we rent those a little bit as well. They're super fun. If you've ever been on one of those, they're unbelievable. They're just so zippy, instant torque. They're a blast. We've got a chase van, so for any of our guided tours, or it's also just an add-on, right? If you want to go out with a group and you guys want to have a van with tools and fuel and snacks and anything that you might want, right? Just have kind of a support vehicle to go around with you and accompany you on whatever your adventure might be. Well, we've got a brand new Mercedes van that is fully kitted out for it.
It's set up.
Yeah, and it actually fits one motorcycle very easily in it with lots of stuff, and we can actually fit 2 Nordens in there.
Yeah.
And so that's another thing that we take along with us, especially on those guided trips. So we take extra bikes so that if anything were to happen and you were to have a bike break down or anything like that, the adventure's not over, right? We just bring a new one right out, load up the one that's having an issue in that moment, and you move on with it. So that's another thing you might see around here. And in the wintertime is all of the snow bikes. And so we've got 8 almost all brand new snow bikes with mostly mountaintop kits on them that we'll show you guys in some other episodes. But yeah, that's kind of what the shop is looking like right now. Some of the inventory and some of the things that are around here right now. If you haven't seen it, you got to come out and check it out. It's pretty sweet. You have anything else to say, Grandpa?
No, just come on out and rent a bike and go for an adventure. We live in the best place in the world to ride adventure bikes. We have thousands and thousands of miles of dirt roads that need to be explored, and we can help you map a route out if that's what you'd like to do. And remember, yonder lies your adventure.
That's right. Yonder lies your adventure. So thanks for listening in to the second episode of the Wild West podcast. We hope you guys enjoyed the virtual tour and that you guys can come see us in person sometimes. Thank you.